喂，各位朋友，大家好，各位记者好，今天呢是我们在美国的访民代表在美国的新闻大厦俱乐部举行的关于请求美国政府驱逐中国大使馆公使徐学渊的一个新闻发布会。那么
Good afternoon, every friends. Good afternoon, our journalist friends. Today, we, as part of the Chinese petitioners in the USA, we are now holding the press conference for the appeal to the American government to exile the Chinese minister Xu Xueyuan.
我是赵岩，曾经在美国的《纽约时报》北京分社做过记者，现在也是访民。
My name is Zhao Yan. I was working as one of the reporters at the affiliate of the New York Times in Beijing, and I'm now is also one of the petitioners.
坐在我旁边这位呢是钟国伟先生，来自中国的广东。
Sitting beside me is Mr. Zhong Guowei, who comes from Guangdong Province.
那么今天在座的还有这个我们的访民代表，王春燕女士、金月花女士、艾凤荣先生，李焕君女士，还有陈祥伟先生、艾凤荣先生。陈树广和蔡秀玲正在路上。
And today, present at this conference is some of the petitioners, such like Mrs. Wang Chunyan, Mrs. Jin Yuehua, Mr. Ai Furong, and Mrs. Li Huanjun, and Mrs. Cai Xiuling, as well as Mr. Chen Shuguang is now on their way to this conference room.
还有这个我们孙进喜先生因为他这个身体这个残疾，现在来不了，他的夫人在这做。
And also Mr. Sun Jinxi, because of his illness, because his disability, who cannot personally come to this conference, but we are happy to have his wife here, sitting in among the audience.
还有一位乔杰老大姐，因为在8月17号的这个晚上8点多，被中国大使馆的这个工作人员攻击致脑出血，现在正在医院治疗。
Especially to mention is a senior-aged old sister, a senior-aged lady, Mrs. Qiao Jie, who is now lying in hospital bed as a result of the attack by the members of Chinese embassy on August 18th in the evening at about 20 o'clock, with the attack result of getting hemorrhage in her head.
宁先华先生，还有这个蔡文君女士，以及这个孙健先生、陈文然女士，他们都在这个路上因为这个路途遥远
On their way to this conference room are still some of the other petitioners, such like Mr. Ning Xianhua, Mrs. Cai Wenjun, and Mrs. Chen Wenran, and etc.
这些人呢，都是在中国政府被中国各级政府呢，把他们的财产和房产，以及这个各种各样的这个财物，抢劫了。
All these people suffered the robbery of the committed by the Chinese government, who robbed their assets as well as especially their real estates.
我们下面请钟国伟先生呢， 进入这个今天会议的主题，由他来宣读驳斥诽谤、揭露真相的一个报告。
And now we'd like to invite Mr. Zhong Guowei to enter into the main topic of this conference by reading out
你要他帮你翻吗？
the open letter of deputing, slandering, and revealing the truth.
各位朋友，各位记者，大家好，我是来自中国广州的访民钟国伟，也是美国永久居民。今天我代表部分在美的中国访民，向大家做一个关于最近发生在华盛顿的外交丑闻的真相报告。
So dear friends and journalists, good afternoon. I'm Zhong Guowei, as a petitioner from Guangzhou City of China, and I'm the permanent resident of the United States of America. Today, on behalf of part of the Chinese petitioners in the USA, I'd like to make a report about the truth happened recently in Washington, D.C. as the diplomatic scandal.
我的标题是驳斥诽谤，揭露真相。
My topic is depute, slandering, and revealing truth.
副题是中指公使徐学渊和他率领的中国大使馆打手暴力团，才是中国大使馆指出的真正的反华不法分子。
With the subtitle of the middle finger waving Minister Xu Xueyuan and the hitman violent gang group under her leadership of the Chinese embassy are indeed the anti-China law breakers which the Chinese embassy referred to.
针对中国驻美大使馆8月19号在其官网发表了颠倒黑白、污蔑和平访民、欺骗中美两国政府和国内媒体的所谓声明，我们现在严正驳斥和谴责于上。
And staying in counterpart to the so-called declaration made by the Chinese embassy in USA on August 19th on its official website, which turns black to white and insulted us peaceful petitioners and cheating both the governments of China and USA as well as the Chinese media. We are now solemnly doing the deputing and condemn as follows.
近几年来，在中国国家领导人来美访问现场，在中国大使馆、中国驻美大使馆外交官舍和平抗议、示威、请愿的中国访民，也曾经受到美国警察的逮捕，但是通过法院的判决，均被判为无罪。其中比较有影响力的5个案件的号码。
In recent years, the Chinese petitioners peacefully protesting, demonstrating, and petitioning on spot of the visiting scenery of the Chinese state leader at the Chinese embassy or at the diplomatic premises of the Chinese embassy in the USA were arrested by the American police. But all of them were declared innocent through trials of courts. And 5 of the cases with the following case numbers are some of the influential cases.
王春燕1冒号19杠CR 杠00087。
First, with Wang Chunyan, 1:19-CR-00087。
金月话1冒号19杠 CR 杠00171杠1。
with Jin Yuanhua, 1:19-CR-00171-1。
爱富荣1冒号19杠 MJ 杠00083。
I from 1:19-MJ-00083。
陈树广22CMD 3597。另外一个案子是1冒号22杠 CR 杠00260。
陈树广 22CMD 3597 with another case number 1:22-CR-00260。
白杰明1冒号19杠 MJ 杠00022。
with by Jimin 1:19-MJ-0022。
所以，中国大使馆宣布的所谓的不法行为，是严重违背事实真相的，因为这些案子都判他们无罪。
So, the so-called illegal activities declared by the Chinese embassy are actually against the truth of facts, because they are all declared innocence in the above cases.
中国驻美大使馆现任公使徐学渊最近还亲自和多次现场指挥使馆的20多名工作人员用暴力袭击了我们这些和平请愿的中国访民。
The current minister of the Chinese embassy in USA has recently herself and many times on spot were commanding more than 20 members of the embassy to attack with violence on us, the peacefully petitioning Chinese petitioners.
中国大使馆在其官方网页和对国内媒体颠倒黑白，污蔑我们这些和平访民是不法分子，企图掩盖徐学渊和他率领的众多使馆成员的暴力犯罪。
The Chinese embassy has in its official website, as well as announcing to the Chinese media by reversing black to white, insulting us, the peacefully protesting petitioners, as illegal ones or as lawbreakers. They would like to conceal the Xu Xueyuan, willing to conceal the violent crimes committed by Xu Xueyuan and a lot of embassy members under her leadership.
这里面还包括诬告陷害犯罪、伪证罪、教唆罪、伪证罪、妨碍司法公正罪等多项严重犯罪和欺骗中美两国政府和国内媒体的严重犯罪事实。
And these crimes may include the crime of slandering, of perjury, of abetting perjury, and obstruction of judicial justice, which severely cheated both the Chinese and the American governments.
这是访民在中国被贪官污吏强抢了财产，有些人和家人还遭到了严重的人身伤害和非法关押。
And these petitioners were robbed of assets by corrupted officials in China, and some of them and their family members have even suffered severe personal injury and illegal detainment.
中国地方政府还以解决问题为名，诱骗海外访民回国，却禁止他们离开中国。
The local Chinese governments even tried to trap with the issue for solving problem for them to get them back to China, but ban them from leaving China.
甚至把他们关进监狱，
And even have thrown them into prisons.
其中在美国的中国访民江琴女士和乔杰女士就亲身经历了这样的诱骗。
And the Chinese petitioners such like Lady Jiang Qin and Mrs. Qiao Jie, they experienced personally such kinds of traps.
被非法扣留护照，甚至是非法关押。
With their passports being illegally detained and even themselves being illegally detained.
中国驻美公使徐学渊对访民叫嚣：“我可以让你们的案子永远解决不了。”
The Chinese minister in USA was yelling with pride to the petitioners, "I can make your cases forever unsolved."
这是中华人民共和国外交高官和驻美公使应该说的话吗？
Is that what the higher level of diplomat and a minister in the American of the People's Republic of China should say?
更为令人发指的是，中国驻美大使馆工作人员在美国警察的眼皮底下，对来自中国武汉的70岁的女访民乔杰进行了残暴无耻的袭击。
What's more outrageous is that the members of the Chinese embassy in the USA have attacked his violently under the eyes of American police so ferociously and relentlessly. The female petitioner with the age of 70 years old from Wuhan.
导致该女士当场被送医院抢救，并被确诊为颅内出血。
Which was leading this lady to emergently being sent to the hospital for emergency treatment and was then diagnosed with intracranial hemorrhage.
至今仍被迫躺在医院病床上等待接受不得不做，但是死亡风险很高的开颅手术。
And so that she's now compulsively lying in bed in hospital, waiting for an inevitable craniotomy operation with very high risk of death.
在如此恶劣的环境之下，中国在美访民将会仍然坚持和平抗议到底。
In spite of such bad circumstances, the petitioners in America from China will be still keeping on peacefully petitioning for further.
这也是本次新闻发布会的重要内容。
And that is also the important content of this press conference.
我们强烈要求中美两国政府和司法机关对此事尽快作出严肃处理。
We're now strongly appealing to both the governments and judiciary organs of both America and China to immediately carry out serious treatment of this accident.
我们在此再一次呼吁中国政府，
And now we are again appealing to the Chinese government.
第一，尽快解决在美中国访民的合法诉求，严惩涉案的中国违法官员。
First, immediately solve or satisfy the legal requirements of the Chinese petitioners in America, and severely or seriously punish the involved Chinese officials.
第二，以公开、公平、公正的方式，尽快受理海外访民的冤案。
Second, as soon as possible to receive the grievance cases of the abroad petitioners with the attitude of opening, justice, and equality.
第三，努力做好有利于中美两国人民的实际工作，尽早落实国家对海外访民工作的最高指示。
And thirdly, to do their best effort to carry on the actual working to the benefit of both of the people both in China and America, and as soon as possible to implement the highest indication from the Chinese state for the work of abroad petitioners.
让每一位在美访民尽快结束上访的噩梦。
To let every petitioner in America end their the nightmare of petitioning as soon as possible,
开始有尊严的生活，
and start a life with dignity,
把有限的精力投入到美好的未来。
and to push their limited energy into a beautiful future.
谢谢大家。
Thank you, everyone.
下面呢，请赵岩先生呢介绍在美部分访民的情况。
And now, we'd like to have Mr. Zhao Yan to give an introduction of the situations of some of the petitioners in the USA.
我先介绍我们左边和右边的两位翻译啊，左边的是张维先生，右边呢是何山先生。何山先生原来是自由亚洲粤语部的资深记者和主任，那么也是中国委的广东老乡啊。那么下一个呢，应该是按程序啊，我们播放这个中指公使徐学渊啊，在他的家门口和在中国大使大使馆以及这个大使馆官邸啊，他向人民诉中指以及这个满大街上骂人民的这个视频啊。
So now we'd like to also to introduce to you all the two interpreters today on the table. One of them on my left side is Mr. Zhang Wei, and on the other side on my right is Mr. He Shan. And Mr. He Shan was working as one of the important reporters of the Radio Free Asia.
这是
Now we'd like to show you through our videos about how the Chinese minister Xu Xueyuan, this lady waving the middle finger to the peaceful petitioners, and how she was commanding the sacks from the Chinese embassy, as well as cursing the petitioners all around on the streets at the Chinese embassy, as well as the diplomatic premises of the Chinese embassy.
这绝对是这个世界外交史上啊，和在美国华盛顿啊绝无仅有的，空前的一幕。
This is absolutely a scenery in the history of diplomacy in Washington D.C., which is unprecedented.
更是外交史上的丑闻。
And what's more is the scandal in the diplomatic history.
好，请播放。
Now let's show it.
一会儿下一个。由于这个都是用手机拍摄的啊，由于用手机拍摄，所以这个效果呢，不是用专业机器啊拍摄的好，大家多多原谅。
And because all of the videos were taken by our phones, so that the effect of the videos may not be so ideal as taken by the professional equipment.
音量大一点。这两个连线，是吧？他在那个健身房。可以，就是有你们这记者有没有提问的？问题不是最后问吗？还是现在就先读信。都行，对，让和珅直接英语给拜登就读了，我就不念中文了。下一个就是给拜登总统直接用英文读，你别说最后习近平不行，我说了一句你来一句啊，最后习近平不行，我说了一句你来一句，拜登直接读了。
狗奴才，狗奴才，狗奴才，骗子！狗奴才，狗奴才，骗子，骗子，骗子，骗子！狗奴才，狗奴才，狗奴才，狗奴才，
恭喜徐学渊，
狗奴才。
穿着衣服在这儿。
Yep, this lady is the Chinese minister Xu Xueyuan.
This is no diplomatic place.
他是说，
中国公使。
Diplomatic or not diplomatic place?
对。Excuse.
王本王国，王本王国，让开
李树春大姐啊，还有你王晨燕大姨还是大姐？大姨啊，大姨，金月花你大姨，你大伯，艾芙蓉找你打网球来了啊，网球拍呢？啊，好。
得啦，過嚟先，快啲，你快啲 ，OK， 係啊，你攞個馬入嚟得㗎啦，OK。
他们在用喇叭攻击，
真的，
This strong young man holding the megaphone in their hands and trying to attack with the megaphone physically, and also with the sounds, which is extremely loud and hurting. They are rushing to the peaceful petitioners.
他们打人，打人，打人，打人，打人。
刚刚那个胖子，
他拿这个，他也看。
拿这个啊弄的，我喊你们都喊不赢。拿这个，真，我一下就。哎呦，我心脏不好。
你让呢？你给他翻译说他心脏不好，有脑血管瘤。
I got here.
She had pushed down somehow. She had pushed down somehow. She had pushed down somehow. Does she need an ambulance at all? Ambulance, hospital? Hospital, yeah. She wants to go to the hospital.
哎呀，这个怎样？我吃个药。给我开个。
给开个，
给我拿一颗。
呀，水呢？水呢？
给我拿一颗。
Okay, is it video? Is it video?
呀。
我的病历。
Okay.
行。
They're taking her to Georgetown.
Georgetown Hospital. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this lady, 70 years old, peaceful petitioner from Wuhan, now being sent by the U.S. Secret Service to the hospital for emergency treatment, is now still lying, as we shown. That's a picture taken several days ago. And she is now still lying in hospital bed. And with in compliance with the doctor's orders, so that she cannot get out of the hospital, although she'd like to very much to get out of the hospital. She has to stay, waiting there for a high-risk operation, a so-called craniotomy, which means to open her head for treatment of the bleeding inside her head. And shown on this video on the screen are the hitman group of the Chinese embassy. As very obscenity. He was doing this indecent act to a lady, namely Wang Chunyan, who is also here sitting in the audience.
大使馆的
That's a
颠倒黑白。
which turning black to white on their official website by the Chinese embassy.
驳斥他，访民的驳斥他。
书记蔡奇，在北京市曾经有个就是住在牛街的一个姓谢的谢警员，对，他来到美国，就是当时的市委书记是郭金龙，
Now showing on screen is
王安顺，
Mrs.
他
Li
们通过一个
Guanjun,
电话
who used
打电
to
话，你要多少？
stab or block the car fleet of visiting Chinese President Xi Jinping twice. For sending her appeal. And this lady in pink T-shirt is Chinese Minister徐学渊. She's not snatching the phone held by Mr. Chen Shuguang, who is now taking video evidence of what's happening. And Chen Shuguang shouted to the security person or the member of Secret Service that she's attacking me. She's attacking me.
停了吗？
结束。
好，找你拿那个，把那个给我。这段视频啊，是记录了中国大使馆的中指公使徐学渊啊。
The video above record the head of the mission, the minister of PRC, using her middle finger.
对人民竖中指，谩骂人民，组织大使馆的工作人员当街做性动
On
作，
broad daylight, and then accusing peaceful protesters from China, and also sexually harassing these peaceful protesters.
猥亵和这个侮辱啊！刚才坐在后面的那个女访民王春燕
Including
女士，
insulting one of the petitioner you see in this auditorium at the back end of these press conferences.
也这个谩骂了这个艾芙蓉、金月花等啊，包括我。
Including 艾芙蓉、金月花 and me, were scouted by this head of mission of PRC.
那后一段呢是展现了徐学渊公使啊，抢陈树广的手机，教唆啊他中国大使馆雇佣的私人保安啊
The next video
如
you
何
see
做伪证，
is this minister trying to slap the cell phone of the protesters who are trying to record the evidence
以及欺骗美国
and deceiving the U.S. government,
国家特勤局和美
including
国
the
国务
Secret
院
Service,
外交人员保护司
Department of State, and the protective service of the foreign envoy.
的工作人员啊，对陈树广呢进行枉法的关押。
As a result, Chen Shuguang, who tried to record the evidence, has been arrested by the U.S. Foreign Service Protection Unit.
还有这个更精彩的画面，一会儿陈树广和蔡秀玲来，他们做一个更好的 PPT 给大家介绍。
Unbelievable evidence and video you've seen will be introduced by Mr. Chen, to the audit, to the attendants later.
那我们下面的那个宣读一个致拜登总统的公开信，请何山先生直接用英语宣读。
Next, the group of petitioner will have an open letter to President Biden. This letter has been prepared and then it will be read out by the interpreters. Now, dear Mr. Biden, President of the United States of America, we are a group of Chinese petitioners residing in the East Coast. Recently, outside the Washington, D.C. embassy the area, unprecedented diplomatic scandal happened. It was concerning the head of the mission or the minister of the PRC's minister, a female minister, Miss Xu Xueyuan. She not only on broad daylight accusing U.S. citizens and U.S. residents that with her middle finger outside the embassy suite of Ambassador Qin Gang and her own resident. This lady also organized a group of 20-something protesters, something security guards trying to attack on these peaceful petitioners. As a result, an old lady, Mr. Chao Jie, now is still in prison, and she has suffered dizziness, insomnia, and nightmare. For the utmost, we cannot understand why this head of mission on June the 25th, he tried to slap an attack on peaceful protester Chen Shu-guang, and during the attack, she also said that, well, I can knock you down. The most annoying is this head of mission of PRC trying to send an innocent Chinese petitioner, Mr. Chen, in prison. He tried to bribe the security guard and make fake evidence and recruit a group of a security guard to make perjury statement accusing Chen is the attacker. Mr. President, under your leadership, the White House Secret Service should work according to procedures. Without a prudent investigation, Mr. Chen should be returned home with innocent. Mr. Chen has been residing outside the PRC's embassy suite for the past 2 years. President, can you answer us why outside the White House Lafayette Square, we've seen U.S. protesters has been setting up a tent for more than 2 decades? Why U.S. peaceful protesters can set up a tent outside Lafayette Square, but not Ms. Wang Chunyan and Chen Shu-guang? They are using a public sphere not far away from the PRC's embassy. Can you tell us which is more important, rule of law or the face of the Chinese government? The DC's prosecutor now is accusing and indicting Mr. Chen Shu-guang a diplomatic attack, which is a federal felony. But it is outrageous, simply twisting the right to brag. United States this is a peaceful nation. USA is proud for its democracy and freedom. The indictment on Mr. Chen's is just unbelievable. Well, it should be said that many of the U.S. government has been fooled by the Chinese head of mission or the minister of Ms. Xi. She has already violated U.S. Constitution and law. That's why we are writing to you and using this podium and send you a letter. We want to assert that Mr. Chen is innocent. Where without the rule of law and separation of power, we do not see two of the petitioner, including Wang Chunyan, Bai Jianmin, and Ai Fuyong. They are sitting here in this podium. They was once accused of similar crime, but they were all evicted and were set free by the U.S. court. The middle finger minister, she has already fooled the U.S. government. She fooled her own nation's foreign mission, including the Foreign Security Council. Ms. Xi also trying to make up a story, trying to accuse these peaceful protesters as working for the U.S. government, and they have the umbrella, they have the protection of the U.S. law, and to enact unlawful behavior, but which is totally true. Moreover, inside China and Beijing, including the Beijing Daily and a few hundreds of Chinese media, use its media landscape trying to defame the peaceful protests outside the embassy. The result is tremendously defamating. President Biden, Xi Yuan, the head of minister, has through the U.S. government. She also provide false evidence and organized gangster trying to attack innocent protesters. It should not be escaped from the U.S. law. That's why we are writing to you. We hope President Biden can exercise the right to protect your citizens and extend the protection to us. We are residents residing in the USA. And we also urge your government to exercise scrutinies on those Chinese officials trying to put peaceful protesters from China into a perjury status and correct their mistake. American is a nation ruled by law. Everybody living in this land should enjoy the rule of law and enjoy the sunshine of the judicial fairness system. And we also want you tell your old friend, Mr. Xi Jinping, under President Xi Jinping, your leadership on China, you have launched a mass-scale anti-corruption movement. However, your foreign missions are still acting as an umbrella for those corruptive activities. And we urge President Xi, you should strip away the diplomatic immunity of these head of mission, Ms. Xi. And then, according to law, and take away the diplomatic immunity, including those attackers outside the embassy compounds. President Biden, we hope you can comply with the Vienna's Convention, evict all those attackers, including this head of mission. Were this head of mission saying in the USA, the rule of law, the rule of the US law, the rule of the US Constitution cannot be seen as maintained under your leadership.
下面我们连线这个在华盛顿医院的乔杰大姐，她正在病房医治。那因为这个设备问题呢，我们只能用手机、微信跟她连线，完了给大家看。希望大家谅解。
Now we FaceTime the petitioner who are still in hospital, Ms. Chao Jie, because she cannot attend this press conference. We can only show you the FaceTime live video.
乔杰大姐就是刚才电视画面当中所体现的啊，被大使馆的一个年轻的安保啊，不到30岁的一个年轻安保，高个子用高音喇叭，用警笛的声音刺激他，拿喇叭砸他，最后的这个把他砸倒了啊。现在他在画面中，因为他不会这个很多软件，只会用手机，所以没法把它那个进行更大的这个画面，望谅解。
In this video, Mrs. Chow is the practitioner you seen in the previous video that was attacked by loudspeaker from one of the security guard employed by the Chinese embassy, and then because she do not have too much a cell phone capability, this is the only way that we can show you from the hospital.
他现在已经是在医院住有半个月时间了，正在准备接受这个脑部的手术啊。
She has been hospitalized for more than half a month and waiting for necessary medical procedure, including a open head surgery.
乔杰大姐，您现在在画面中了，您可以跟记者们那个还有你的老朋友们说话了。
Ms. Chow, now you're online. Now you can talk to the press in this auditorium.
说吧。
Yeah.
大家好。
翻译。
我是武汉访民乔杰。
等一下。
Hello, everybody.
等一下，给你翻译呢。哦，对不起。
呀，一起来。Hello, everybody. I am the petitioner from Wuhan.
您接着说。
在8月17号。
On August 17.
一句一句讲。等一下，你转完一句，他要翻译。讲吧。
好。
Yeah, on August.
我们和平抗议。
On August 18, we are peacefully protesting outside the residency of the PRC's envoy.
说吧。
被徐学轩指示的底下一帮国保局的小伙子们把我头倒了。
I were attacked on my head by a group of gangsters. I suppose they were employed and recruited by the PRC.
说吧。
后来被救护车紧急救往医院救急。我现在已经在医院有21天了。
I've been hospitalized for 21 days. We're now that the embassy, evicted, get rescued to the hospital.
说吧，小姐。
现在正在接受治疗，我的头痛啊，很痛。
I am now under treatment. My head is my head is a pain and I cannot walk.
说吧，小姐。
等待的我就是要头颅要开刀治疗，等待我的恶果。
The next awaiting surgery is the open head procedures.
继续说。
现等待着我的是很危险的场面。
It is a dangerous moment, dangerous scenario for me.
说吧，小姐。
我好累呀。
I'm very tired.
谢谢。
Thank you.
谢谢记者们的关心，谢谢。
Thank you for your
我
concern,
受不了了。
the press. Thank you.
好了，
刚才那个电视画面当中，所有的警报器的刺耳的声音啊，高度刺耳的声音、强音，都是来自中国大使馆那些官员用喇叭放出来的，
The
而不
high volume attack come from the loudspeaker held by the Chinese embassy staff or their attackers. Supposedly they recruit.
我们当中现在的很多人，包括我自己，耳朵经常的这个失聪啊，那个还有这个眩晕啊，晚上做梦啊、失眠啊，这个状况都有。
Practitioners on the scene, including me, are still suffering a dizziness and nightmare. Cannot sleep.
我们不知道他们的喇叭有没有特殊的装置，但是访民用的喇叭是没有的，尽管都形状上都一样。
We do not know where those loudspeaker has any special specification, but the loudspeaker we use are ordinary. You can see.
那么访民用喇叭是和平请愿，呼喊秦刚大使能够注意访民的这个控告，接待访民，倾听他们的心声。
The loudspeaker we use is peaceful. What we shout is Ambassador Qin Gang, please pay attention to our requests.
但是我们看到使馆工作人员对访民的这个回击已经非常清楚了。
But what we see in the response from the embassy staff is very clear.
好，谢谢。那么下面的我们今天啊后半程的这个视频的这个就是被徐学渊中指公使徐学渊冤屈的陈树广先生来到了现场。
Now we come to the second section of this press conference. We see Mr. Chen that we mentioned just now has arrived the podium.
他和这个王春燕女士呢，在3年前在中国大使馆的门口搭建了一个帐篷，因为他无家可归，所以搭建了一个帐篷。
3 years ago, Mr. Chen and including another practitioner, Mr. Wang Chunyan, set up a tent outside the U.S. The Chinese embassy in the United States.
王春燕女士就坐在这个后面。
Ms. Wang is sat in the backbencher.
她非常艰难，她的这个母亲死在上访的路上，弟弟被辽宁的黑社会和警察一起合谋给杀害了。
Mrs. Wang has a very tough and personal petitioning history. Her mom was murdered on the way to tell her story, and her younger brother were also
弟弟被杀害了，谋杀。
including her younger brother were also killed.
妹妹呢被打成精神分裂，因为强拆，这些都是因为强拆。
And because of petition, her younger sister has now suffered psychiatric illnesses.
对，那他父亲呢也几乎是这个被打成这个被打以后呢，这个失忆啊，状态啊，身体也非常不好。那于去年也去世了，一家是家破人亡。
Her father, because of the peaceful petitioning, also been beaten, has lost his memory, and then in last year, her father passed away.
他来到美国没有住处，所以在大使馆前搭了个帐篷，坚持了3个多月。
She came to the United States without any residency. The purposes is to petition to the Chinese government. She has been 刚来的时候吗？
对，刚来的时候。
She has been residing outside the Chinese embassy for 3 months. On the first day she arrived, on the first day she arrived at U.S. soil.
那陈树广呢，因为一个司法腐败呢，20多年， 也是这个在来到美国以后呢，这个家也分了，那么也没有住处，最后也是到大使馆啊，那个坚持在帐篷当中。
Mr. Chen has also suffered from legal mistreatment for more than 20 years. He also set up a tent like Mrs. Wang outside the embassy of the PRC.
那么他们两个在大使馆坚持等于抗议了，合在一起坚持抗议了1年零10个月，接近2年。
Combining their petitioning outside the embassy, a total of 1 year and 10 months.
不幸的是，美国国务院安保司外交官员安保司啊，使用中国的办法，违反了美国的宪法，把这个帐篷给强拆了。
Unfortunately, their tent was removed and evicted by the State Department's Foreign Mission Security Services.
这个也是违反了美国的宪法。
And it violated
第一
U.S.
修正案。
Constitution
第一修正案。
and the First Amendment.
那么下面呢，我们就请陈树广先生和他的这个翻译蔡庆玲女士给大家播放这个，他还没到，啊，那你
我指的那个视频它还在差一点点。
Now we invite Mr.
那要多
Chen
长时
to
间？
tell his story.
半个小时，那我们先进行别的，好。
Okay. Because
不好意思啊。
we're still waiting for the interpreters. Now we go to the next section.
那我们下面请这个大家看一下啊，在美国的中国的访民啊，在中国的访民，先后在从2015年到这个2019年，先后10几次啊，这个为了伸张他们的冤屈，按照中国传统文化拦轿告御状的方式，向中国国家主席习近平先生多次的以及
Now we are going to show a video of the Chinese petitioners from 2015 to 2019 of their petitioning records, which is in accordance with the Chinese tradition to trying to uphold their right and reverse their crime.
那么
你收到什么情况？
张伟放视频啊，得让他来放视频，视频在他电脑里。
OK， 我叫张伟过来。
那么这个视频呢，记录了在华盛顿以及佛罗里达马拉戈庄园的多次的这个惊险的画面。
This video showed the petitioning record, including in Washington D.C., Florida, the outside the Mar-a-Lago, which is it looks really risky.
那拍摄的有这个艾弗隆先生。
The recorder of the video, including Mr. Ai Fu-yong,
宁先华先生。
Mr. Lin Xianhua,
还有我本人。
including me.
还有自由亚洲的这个记者马利克先生。
Also a reporter from Radio Free Asia, Mr. Malik.
等。
And others.
对，那么这个大约有3分钟的时间，我们现在请这个张维先生进来给大家播放啊。
Yeah, let's see the video is around 3 minutes.
放那个视频。
是南充的视频。
对。李焕君女士在那儿站着啊。那个第一个画面就是她在2015年在美国的国务院 门前。
The first shot you see is Ms. Li Huanjun also in this podium, sitting at the right corner.
结果他把当时的副总统拜登的车队误认为这个是国家主席习近平的车队。
去年就是已经把诉状交到习近平贴身助理手里的时候，我以为他会给我解决问题，但是至今杳无音讯，石沉大海。我想再次当面的把我的诉状交到习近平的手里，问问他为什么不给我解决问题。
中国人民对人权以及公益的呼唤。有些访民不顾自身安危拦阻车队，也引起了当地执法人员的关注。我们在我们画面上也看到了，这是您当时拦车的情况，的确非常的危险，非常的凶险。您跑到路中间去，当时车队呢也开得特别的快啊。你可不可以跟我们讲一下当时你的心情？
这个是王春燕女士，刚才这个画面。
This video is from Miss Wang Chunyan.
艾芙蓉先生。
艾芙蓉。
后面那个。
Yeah, on the you see on the back bench.
金月花女士。
This is 金月花。
也在后面坐。
On the second back, yes.
李淑春大姐80岁，今年。
This show a petitioner 80 years old, Miss Li Shuchun.
她拄着单拐，站在刘贺车队的前面。
He's standing outside Premier Liu He.
那这一天呢，艾芙蓉、王春燕啊，还有陈香薇，金月花，大家都在场啊，还有10几个访民。
On this day, including 艾芙蓉、金月花 and 10 others petitioners were on the scene.
王春燕几乎这个抱住了这个刘贺去送信啊。
Ms. Wang Chunyan almost successfully get closer to Premier Liu He and hand in her petitioner letter.
马上加这个。
拍摄的现场画面显示，还有2人在路中央拦车，但车队已经过去。
他们如此勇敢，都是因为他们自己的财产啊，被各级地方政府给抢个精光。
They were so courageous because all their personal belongings and properties were nationalized by the provincial government.
但是法律又不给大家以公正。
But the law inside China do not give them justice.
拦车是中国的一个文化。
我刚说。
再说。
那么在中国2000多年的这个文字记载以来，拦车向这个历朝历代的这个领导人啊告状是有历史的。
Petitioning in front of the empire, like you see in this video, has a 2,000 years history inside China, according historical records.
没有人愿意冒这样的风险去维护自己的权利。
No one would dare make such high risks to sacrifice their life in protecting, in order to protect their properties.
但是正因为在中国大陆法治很难盛行。
But because of rule of law inside China has not been fully implemented.
各级政府官员把法律和老百姓的人权践踏在脚下。
Each level of the provincial government has dictate their right on ordinary citizens.
对这些手无寸铁的这样方面是非常愤怒。
所以大家在没有办法的前提下啊，当法律没法彰显啊，法律的尊严、法律的公正没法展现在世人面前，没法在每一个受苦受难的人、得不到公正的人面前展现的时候，只能采取这种办法。
As a result of no other better means to show rule of law in front of the public, and no other better ways to secure the personal rights.
在2016年华盛顿4月初的和安会后
In 2016, Washington D.C., April, after the summit of nuclear security and safety,
国家主席习近平
President Xi Jinping
对访民的问题所反映的问题批示了这个6个字。
Xi Jinping has answered a 6-word directive to the petitioners' issues and requests.
要有紧迫感、责任感、使命感。
These 6 words directive is 要有紧迫感。We need to have a urgency and 逼迫感。
紧迫感。
Yeah, we need to have an urgency and well. Yeah, it's yeah. We need to have a sense of urgency, sense of responsibility, and sense of mission.
大家已经看到了，他派他自己的赤卫长、警卫参谋到美国的国务院门口下来接了李焕君女士的诉状。我当时在现场。
You can see on this video, President Xi has sent his security officers and accept the petition letter from Ms. Li Huanjun. Yeah, I was at the scene.
那还有湖南的访民张伟学，还有北京的访民郭红。
Including Guo Hong and
张伟学，湖南访民。
From Hunan 张伟学。
但是北京市委市政府接到这个习近平的批示，直至今天没有解决任何问题。
However, the Beijing's municipal government, without any action, even after they received the 6 words directive I mentioned above from President Xi.
那么，北京市另外一个访民郭红被骗回北京以后，现在投入精神病院。
Another Beijing petitioner Guo Hong has been triggered, has been full and going back to China. Now he has been settled, has been sent to psychiatric ward.
也许他永远不会有自由了，我们不知道。
Perhaps, and I don't know whether Guo Hong will resume his freedom.
正是因为连国家主席习近平对这些事情的关注都得不到落实。
Because even from the directive of the President Xi, his directive cannot be implemented.
所以才有了大使馆前搭帐篷
That's why you see the tent
和
setting up
我们
outside
现
the
在
embassy
每天向
complexes.
秦刚大使请愿的这样的场景的出现。
Yeah, and then that's why you see our petitioner, our daily petitioning to Ambassador Qin Gang.
我们希望未来的中国能够像世界的文明国家一样。
We hope China in one day will, like other civilian nation of the whole world,
法治得到彰显。
the rule of law can be seen.
尽管在美国这个特勤局和这个华盛顿的检察官对中国的访民也有抓捕，也有起诉。
Even though in Washington D.C., the Secret Service and the prosecutor has indictment to Chinese petitioners residing here.
但是我们看到美国有全过程的民主，
But
有
we have witnessed in the United States we have a full procedural rule of law, a full procedural justice.
也有正规的人民的审判。
and formal court hearing and ruling.
所以才有了这个王春燕坚持认定自己无罪。
That's why we see cases like Miss Wang Chunyan. He was eventually given innocent judgment.
和其他后续的访民得到无罪的这个判决。
Miss Wang is the first one. 他是第一个吗？
他是第一个，他第一个不认罪。
No, Miss Wang Chunyan was the first one to not admit her guilt and set free, and followed by other court rulings. They all resumed innocent and set free.
王春燕赢了官司其他后续的访民都依法没有这个被判刑。
Had Miss Wang won the case, that's why no other peaceful protesters has been sentenced into jail.
那么下面这个因为那个视频还在这个制作当中那我们现在请这个王春燕宣读致国家主席习近平的公开信。
多给你吧。
已经念英语。那我来读，你翻。
不是，直接读英文就好了。
读英文
不读中文。
好，
就这个。
麦克风，
不看到。好，麦克风。
我只能你读中文，因为中间的案例他不熟悉。
看着中文。
案例不熟悉。好，谢谢。这封信呢是我执笔的，但是我不太习惯这个念稿子。那但是今天还是得念，因为涉及到每个人的案件。
And this letter was written by me, although I'm now used to read the prepared paper. I have to do it for it involves the individual cases of the presenting petitioners.
尊敬的国家主席习近平先生好。
Respectful Mr. Xi Jinping, as President of China.
我们是来自中国的在美的部分访民。
We are a part of the Chinese petitioners living in the USA.
今天我代表这些部分访民，向您致一封公开的信。
And today, on behalf of this part of the petitioners, I'm now writing to you an open letter.
主要是向您反映最近发生在美国华盛顿建成以来，前无古人后很难有来者的外交丑闻事件。
Generally, to report to you the event of diplomatic scandal, which was now is so unprecedented ever since the building up of the Washington City as the capital of the United States of America, and which can now find similar future similarities.
2022年8月10日上午和8月25日上午8时13分。
On August 10th, in the morning of August 10th, and at 8 o'clock p.m. 13 on August 25th in the year 2022.
我说错了应该8月10号晚上8点13分。
So for the correction, what I've just said is for 8 p.m. 13.
8月几号
？8月10号晚上8点13分。
In the evening at 8 p.m. 13 on August the 10th.
10号上午我说错了，对不起在美国的华盛顿。
I'm sorry. It's in the morning of August 10th.
在美国的华盛顿的中国大使馆大使秦刚官邸附近。
And near the residence of the Chinese Embassy Qinggang in Washington D.C.
要不念前面，把后边给我也行。
下面呢，由我来代替赵岩呢，先把那个前面的陈述一下，后面的案子呢，要赵岩来介绍啊，我先。
So I'd like to read it out now as successor of Mr. Zhao Yan, and afterwards, Mr. Zhao Yan will review to you the details of the cases.
在美国华盛顿的中国大使秦刚官邸附近，发生了面对我们访民的依法请愿。驻美大使馆公使外交官徐学渊不仅不满唱夜学接待，相反的对人民竖起了中指。
So here's the residence of Mr. Qinggang as ambassador of China in Washington D.C. and confronted or facing our legal petitioning the diplomat Ms. Xu Xueyuan as minister of the Chinese embassy in the USA didn't receive us with full of enthusiasm but giving middle finger to the people.
徐学渊作为中国大使馆的2号人物，违反国家的外事纪律和外交人员法，与访民互骂打奸，还觉得不过瘾。
As the second leading figure of the Chinese embassy, Xu Xueyuan was breaking the foreign affairs discipline and the law of diplomats of China, and she was cursing with each other. She was cursing the petitioners on streets.
在极端情绪的控制下，警员亲自下车攻击访民和指挥大使馆20多名年轻力壮的保安人员，用高音喇叭攻击60、70岁的年老体弱的访民。
And even though not to her full satisfactory and control of possible extreme mood, she got out of the car and even assaulted the petitioners and was commanding more than 20 very strong security members of the Chinese embassy to assault with the high sound megaphone the petitioners, such like us of the age of 60s and 70s with very weak health situations.
此事在华盛顿的外交界、言论界激起了非常恶劣的国际政治影响。
And this event has stirred a very bad international political influence in the diplomatic circle and in press circle in Washington D.C.
早在6月25日下午，徐学渊就对和平请愿的访民陈树广进行诬告，说陈树广攻击他，抢夺他的手机。
As early as on June the 25th in the afternoon, Xu Xueyuan was attacking the peacefully petitioner Mr. Chen Shuguang and was maliciously slandering him of attacking her and snatched and snatching her phone.
在华盛顿制造了一起捆绑白宫特勤局和美国国务院的违反宪法、签打法律的越南。
And that made a case of injustice in Washington, D.C., which kidnapped the Secret Service of the White House and the Department of State to trample on the Constitution and the laws.
现在美国法庭已经根据详细的证据宣布陈树广无罪。
Now, Mr. Chen Shuguang was declared innocent by the American court based on detailed evidences.
陈树广根据现已掌握的证据，准备状告中国大使馆和公使司学院。
And with the evidence, he's now mastering. Mr. Chen Shuguang is ready to make lawsuits against the Chinese embassy and its minister Xu Xueyuan.
更为令人发指的是，中国驻美大使馆工作人员在徐学渊的暗中指挥下，在美国警察的眼皮下，对来自中国武汉的70岁的女访民小姐进行了残暴袭击。
And what's more outrageous is that the members of the Chinese embassy in the USA entered the commanding behind the curtain of Xu Xueyuan were attacking ferociously the 70-year-old female petitioner Qiao Jie from Wuhan under the eyes of the American police.
导致该女士当场倒地，并被送医院进行抢救，被确诊为颅内出血。
Which made this lady knocked down on spot on ground and was sent to hospital for emergency treatment and was diagnosed with intracranial bleeding.
至今仍被迫躺在医院病床上等待接受不得不做的风险极高的手术。
And who's now still lying on hospital bed waiting for an inevitable operation with very high risk.
但是造成极恶劣影响的中指公使徐学渊，不仅不思考如何改正错误。
On the contrary, the middle finger waving Minister Xu Xueyuan, who made such bad influences, did not only thinking of how to correct her wrongdoings.
相反，他还在8月19号在其大使馆的官网发表了颠倒黑白、污蔑和平请愿访民、欺骗中国外事委员会和国家安全委员会。
On the contrary, she even published in the official website of the Chinese embassy on August 19th the declaration which reversed black to white, insulted the peacefully petitioning petitioners, and was cheating the Chinese Central Committee for Foreign Affairs as well as the Chinese Central Committee for State Safety, and as well as cheating President Xi.
以及欺骗习主席的大使馆声明。这个欺骗中美两国政府和国内媒体的所谓声明，表现出对习主席提出的外交为民、 以人民为中心，江山就是人民，执政为民等思想最大的反动。
In such a so-called declaration, cheating both the Chinese and American governments as well as the Chinese media, showed its biggest counteraction to the sort made by the sort of diplomat for the people, with people at center, and the country is the people, and carrying on government activities for the people, these kind of sorts raised by President Xi.
我们现在向习主席你陈述真相。
And now we are presenting the truth to you, President Xi.
近几年来，在主席你和其他领导人来美访问期间，在你和其他领导人来美朝访期间，访民是采取过中国传统文化中蓝教告御状的行动。
In recent years, during your visiting the USA and as well as other state leaders visiting, the petitioners did carry out the actions such like the actions of the traditional Chinese stopping blocking the silence of the high officials to make an imperial appeal.
那是因为访民对你所反对的司法腐败，不给人民以诉权，不给人民以法律的公正，才导致的无奈情况下采取的办法和行动。
Such approaches and actions the petitioners have taken in circumstances of they are so helpless to the facts which you are against, such like judiciary corruption, granting the people with no right to lawsuit, and granting the people no justice of law.
没有谁愿意冒着生命、失去生命和在美国坐牢被抓的危险，而采取那样的行动向你请愿，那绝对是不得已而为之的。
No one would like to take the risk of losing life and the risk of being arrested and sent to imprisonment for taking such kinds of action to appeal to you is absolutely in our helpless situation.
那是勇敢地向你举报国内腐败的拦车告状勇士，在国内都是没有犯罪记录的良民。
These brave people who bravely try to block your car fleet to report the corruption situation in China are all good people of no crime reports.
都是被各级腐败官员欺压的冤民。
And they're all petitioners with grievances suppressed by all kinds level of corrupted officials.
在美国拦车告状，他们也遭到美国警察的逮捕。
To block the car fleet in America, they were arrested by the American police.
但是 正是因为主席你所赞美的和最近几年倡导的全过程民主中的人民审判的机制，那些向你控告国内腐败的勇士才都被判为无罪。
And just because of the mechanism of trial by people during the whole procedure democracy, which you, dear President, were praising and advocating in recent years, these brave people trying to making their accusation to you about the domestic corruptions in China, they were sentenced to innocence.
习近平主席通过我们上述的陈述，就不难发现外交部在天津会谈中的第7项，以及中国大使馆最近宣布的所谓不法行为，是严重违背事实真相的。
Through our narratives above, dear President Xi, it's not difficult to find that the Article 7 in the Tianjin conversation committed by the Ministry for Foreign Affairs and the so-called law-breaking activities or illegal activities declared by the Chinese embassy recently are, in fact, severely against the truth.
中国驻美大使馆现任公使徐学渊和多次现场指挥使馆的工作人员用暴力袭击了我们，这是和平请愿的访民，他们才是不法分子和外交战线腐败分子。
The current minister of the Chinese embassy in the USA, and the members of the under her commanding on spot, who violently assaulted us, the peacefully petitioning grievance, they are the illegal people and the corrupted ones in the foreign affair area.
中国大使馆在其官方网页和对国内北京日报等不明真相媒体颠倒黑白，污蔑我们这些和平访民是不法分子，就是徐学渊企图掩盖他率领的中舵使馆成立的暴力犯罪
成员。
So, the Chinese embassy was declaring in its official website, as well as to the Chinese media, such like the Peking Daily, which are not aware of the truth, were reversing black to white, insulting us peaceful petitioners as lawbreakers, and that is the facts that what Xu Xueyuan was trying to conceal, what the crimes made by among of embassy members under her leadership.
其实他们是犯了诬告陷害罪、伪证罪、教唆伪证罪等妨碍司法公正多项严重犯罪和欺骗中美两国政府和国内媒体的严重犯罪事实。
Actually, they are committing a series of crimes such as malicious accusing through slandering, crime of perjury, crime of abetting perjury, and further crimes of obstruction of judiciary justice, as well as cheating both the Chinese and the American governments and the Chinese media.
我们访民在中国被贪官污吏强抢的财产，这些人和家人还遭到了严重人身伤害和非法关押，甚至遭到了暗杀而死亡。
We, the petitioners, were robbed of assets by the corrupted officials in China. Some of us and our family members suffered even severe personal injury and illegal detention, and even assassination and death.
有些地方政府还以解决问题为名，诱骗海外访民回国，然而却禁止他们离开中国。
Some of the local governments even trapped the petitioners living abroad to go back to China for solving their problem, and then banned them from leaving China and even sent them into prisons.
甚至把他们关进监狱。其中在美国的中国访民江琴女士和乔军女士就亲身经历了这样的诱骗，被非法居留护照，甚至是非法关押。
Miss Jiang Qin and Xiao Jie, as Chinese petitioners living in America, have personally experienced such trapping or being illegally detained, with their passports being illegally detained, and even themselves being illegally detained.
北京访民郭红回国不久就被投进精神病院，至今无法自由。
Petitioner Guo Hong from Peking was thrown into insane hospital after she arrived China, shortly after she arrived China, and still suffers from no freedom until today.
习近平主持中指公使徐学渊公然对访民叫嚣：“我可以让你们的案子永远解决不了。”
Dear President Xi, the middle finger waving Minister Xu Xueyuan yelled with pride in public to the petitioners, "I can make your cases never be, your cases never solved."
他不是法官，也不是具体案件的办案人员，他有何资格与你的外交为民、以人民为中心、依法治国的光辉思想顶着干？
She is not a judge, not a personnel for dealing with concrete cases. What qualification does she has to act against your glorious source of diplomacy for the people, with the people as center, and carrying out politics by law?
这不是中华人民共和国的外交高官和驻美公使应该说的话。
This is not what a diplomatic high-level. This is not what a high-level diplomatic and minister in the USA of the People's Republic of China should say.
2016年4月华盛顿和安会以后，也就是李焕钧第二次向你告一状后，你再次就信访工作批示责任感、使命感、紧迫感。
After the Nuclear Safety Conference in April of 2016, that is after the time where Li Huanjun made her second imperial appeal to you, you made for the petitioning work the instruction of sense of responsibility, sense of mission, and sense of urgency.
时任上海市委书记韩正和他的接班人李强根本不把你的指示当回事。6年过去了，上海近10个海外的真访民被强拆
数百米
旅店、五金店，损失超过1亿人民币的，至今也没有拿过1分钱的爱富勇。
The then municipal party secretary Han Zheng and his successor Li Qiang, they never cared your instruction. After passing of 6 years, the real petitioners, about a dozen living abroad, who was suffering forcible demolition of large scales, for example, more than 100 quadrat meter of their business, their inns and their hardware shops, such as Mr. Ai Furong, with the loss of over 100 million Chinese renminbi, has never received a penny until today.
还有300多米营业面积私人房产大酒店，但仅得10万买厕所都不够的资金的金月花，就是因为现任某常委老婆拿走巨大利益，所以你的紧迫感得不到落实。
And Mrs. Jin Yuehua, who had owned a private real estate operated by her as a hotel with a square of more than 300 quadrat meter, received only 100,000 renminbi, which is not enough for her to buy a restaurant, and that was because that the current member of the committee of the standing committee of the Communist Party has taken away huge profit, resulting in the fact that the sense of urgency raised by you cannot be implemented.
在美国的北京访民只有李焕钧一人。李焕钧在2012年7月在北京市丰台区南任乡石榴庄各级政府暴力强拆。
The petitioner from Peking, living in America, has uniquely one member, namely Li Huanjun. And Li Huanjun was suffering the violent demolition committed by different levels of the government of the pomegranate village and the Nanyuan town, as well as the district Fengtai, as well as the Peking municipal government in July of 2012.
但正是因为石柳庄书记徐万超与原中纪委主要领导人的和江湖上说曾庆红的儿子的曾伟有做100亿的利益关系，因此蔡奇书记才不敢学习前任郭金龙一个电话就解决北京访民谢景元强拆问题的做法。
But just because of the fact that the village secretary, the party secretary, Xu Wanchao of the pomegranate village in which she was living has a relationship of interest of more than 10 billions of Chinese yuan with the former main leaders of the Central Committee for Discipline Inspection, as well as with the son of the former member of the Standing Committee of CCP, Zheng Qinghong. The Party Secretary Cai Qi of Beijing did not dare to learn from its former comrade Guo Jinlong, who solved the issue of a petitioner from Peking, Mr. Xie Jingyuan, with and his issue